I am going to share 27 years experience and a 30-hour program in 20 minutes. Basically, I believe that most of us in this room are entrepreneurs. We are small business owners, consultants, trainers, whatever. Our frustrations are that there's never enough time, we're multitasking, and our right brain and our left brain are continually at war with each other. We want to create and make money with our right brain, and yet we still have to answer the phone, do the bank accounts, etc., etc. So my goal today is to do two things. I am going to go through the 10 P's of being a sole owner or a practitioner on one's own, and then I'm going to give you a 10-step blueprint for success. I have customized this program so each one literally fits on a page, and I am going to go through, so while I may not give you a lot in each item, when you leave at the end of this day, for those of you who are proactive, I have given you a gift that's most probably worth about $100,000 if you do something with it. So let's start on page 1. The 10 P's. Number 1 is passion. If you don't have it, get out of the market that you're in. What does passion mean? Passion means doing something for money that actually you would to do for free because we love it so much. It's passion that gets us up at 3 in the morning, and as a professional speaker, people are always saying, oh, speaking, that's so glamorous, as 3 planes are canceled and you're still sitting at the airport 24 hours later. Number 2 is proactive. The world belongs to those who reach out. Get on the bus or get off the bus. There is no such thing as a little bit pregnant. Number 3 is perseverance or persistence. Everything, in my opinion, comes back to attitude. If I'm hiring staff, the number 1 thing I'm looking for is attitude. If something goes wrong in my life, what happens? How does my mind think? I am a positive person. I am an optimist. Every time something doesn't happen the way I think it happens, this is the question I ask myself. What am I going to do now, or what am I going to be able to do now that I couldn't have done if this thing had in fact fallen through? And what you will find is that doors open that would not have opened if the thing that you thought you wanted in fact had gone through. Everybody with me? Yeah. So every time something doesn't work out, I take it as an opportunity. I do not take it as a negative. Number 4 is perfectionism. I am a recovering perfectionist. I give a 2-hour program on perfectionism. The American Medical Association has listed procrastination as a medical disease because those of us who are perfectionists, our middle name is procrastination. I could speak for hours on this subject. I'm going to say one thing to the perfectionists in the room. 80% of something is better than 100% of nothing. And let me explain what perfectionists need to learn. When we fail our own standards, the chances are that our standards are so high that even on an off day, we're better than most people who are on an on day. So do something with it. Number 5 is professionalism, and I've listed it here very quickly. I'm neurotic about communication, about grammar, about language, about slang, about setting the standard. I did not write spell check in there. I meant to, because the first display table I walked up to when I walked into this room, the first flyer I picked up and the first word in the heading, I saw a typo. So each of you that has a table, please rush back after lunch. I think we need to stress the importance of deportment, clothes, and the way that we handle ourselves. I was attending a National Speakers Association meeting the other day, and the particular speaker felt that the speaker should dress at the level of the audience so that the audience felt comfortable. I don't happen to believe that way. I think as a consultant or an educator, when you walk in, you should be seen as the person who has come to help. Image, accountability, setting standards. Let me make a comment about number E. Always design for the ultimate and then compromise. When you are designing your programs for your clients, do not second guess and give them less than the ultimate. Start with the top and go down. Number 6 says product. What is your product? You and I can use the word product, but with our clients, we'd never use the word product. It's always educational material. It has to be benefit driven. Under number C, I've added a new one. It says future growth. The future growth in this country is content driven, and I'll tell you where the future growth is. For those of you who can sell implementation programs for a year to support your clients making changes, that's where the money is today. It's in implementation. Promotion. The gurus tell us that we should spend 5% of our overhead on promotion. I spend less than 1%, because promotion to me is through marketing, it's through networking, it's building relationships. We're lucky if we get 0.5% when we do a mailer. If I send out to my clients, I get somewhere between 10 and 13%. So it's all a referral, building a reputation. Please remember number C, we buy 95% on emotion and 5% on product knowledge. We buy 5% on emotion and 5% on product knowledge. We buy with our right brain and we justify it with your left. You need to learn to write your own copy. Do not let other people write copy for you. Nobody can write emotionally about what you do as you can. And everything you write for your client must be benefit driven. What's in it for them? Always write from their perspective. Talking about copywriting, to the person who's going to find the typo when they go back to their table, there's an old trick. You read forward for comprehension. You read backwards to pick up typos. If you read your copy backwards, you will pick up your typos. Articles. Articles are the most underestimated marketing tool in this world. We don't need more books. We do need more articles. People don't have time to read books. Professional relationships. Get the money to afford a good CPA. Work with a good bank. Do not assume all the players in your marketplace are competition. Sometimes they can become, have a good relationship with you. Look at your vendors. See if you've got some affiliate programs you can work with. And network, obviously, I'm talking to the choir here because you're in this room. And thank you, Christy, for doing such a great job. Personnel. I could talk on this subject for about 2 hours. I just want to say to you that for those of you working alone, you are really sabotaging your growth. And I want you to look at how you can, in fact, invest in staff. So I'm going to make a statement, and I'm not going to back down. Number A, good staff should cost you nothing. Hiring good staff should cost you nothing. You get them for free, because you will pay for them out of additional production and profit you would never have seen if you weren't released to create. Does everybody understand? Guys, 95% of professional speakers in the NSA are working on their own. It is a double-edged sword. We are sabotaging ourselves. B, when you do hire staff, hire to your limitations, not your strengths. I don't use the word weakness, I use the word limitations. If you're a perfectionist, please don't hire a perfectionist. You're both perfect forever. Nothing will get done. Delegation. Tough for professionals to delegate. Working with spouse. I just added that because I have worked with 2 spouses. My former husband and I worked together for 19 years. That's 24/7. And my late husband came and ran my company for 11 years. So I have now worked 27 years, 24/7 with 2 husbands. I have a full-day program on working with your spouse. So I know all the ups and downs. The advantages, by the way, greatly outweigh the disadvantages. Plagiarism. 2 comments on plagiarism. Number 1, I want you to be a creator. Do not build a profession or a career using other people's stuff. If I wanted to hear Stephen Covey, I would go and listen to Stephen Covey. I don't need to hear a speaker reissuing Stephen Covey's stuff. Drives me crazy. The reason many speakers can't take questions from the audience is because they don't know how to create. Disclosure. Every piece of paper going out must be disclosed. Your name, your address. If you look at my footer, I've given the explanation. And I need to make a disclaimer at this point. We are videoing this session. Oren has informed me that he will only pick up the backs of your heads, so nobody needs to feel that they told their boss they would be somewhere and we've actually got you on video here. Go on to page 2. I'll come back to the next step in a moment. And on page 2, I have given you the 10-part program for moving your business to the next level. If you've not already done this, I would suggest you get a hanging file and put these 10 tabs in there. And every time you see an article that you don't have time to read, but it's important, please drop it in the right place. So when you're ready to do it, it's there. Don't be one of those people who has 10 years of magazines and you never get to them. When the magazine comes in, tear it apart, take what you want, get rid of the rest, and move it into a holding place. Number 1, plan for prosperity and design for success. If I have one regret in my life, is I have not taken the time to plan and set goals. I tend to be a doer, and sometimes one can get excited about busy work, but I wonder how much further forward it moved us. So I'm telling you what my weakness is. As a perfectionist, one can get bogged down. Number 2, you need to create and maintain strong business systems. You must protect your profit centers. Now let me just give you, and it's not in your workbook, but let me just give you the 3 parts to a business. If I was to take these 10 items and just break your business down into 3 parts, they are as follows: profit centers, marketing, and operations. You've got to produce it, you've got to market it, and you've got to support it. That's business. Number 3 is a winning team. Now, I do about a 3-day program on staff, and if I boil down staff, this is all it is. Attract the best, keep them happy, and solve problems when they arise. So if you can take things down to the core and then build them up, you'll find it easier. Product, what are you selling? Some people in this room are selling tangibles. Other people are selling services. And other people are realizing that the money is in support and implementation. Passive income is essential. I make more money from my product than I do from my speaking. You need to look at that. Most of you are sitting on a wealth of information. You've got knowledge in your head that you should be able to share. You need to be seen as a trendsetter. You should be the person they say, let's go to Susie. She's always on the leading edge. Today's market want content. You're going to grow the business through 3 specific areas: referrals, the backbone of a business, that first impression. We have about 7 seconds, we're told, that we make up our mind about a person. That comment obviously came from a man, because a woman makes up her mind in about a second. And we need to establish relationships. You need to look after your clients. Fulfillment means, how are you fulfilling your product? How are you fulfilling your service? You must do it so your clients don't have to wait. You therefore have a scheduling issue. And you need to, if you do have product, do you fulfill it in-house, out-house? I've done off-site. I've done both of them. There are pros and cons. That's for another day. You need to, number 7, protect your business revenues. And this is a statement that I use in dentistry every day of my life. Inform before you perform, no surprises. Inform before you perform, no surprises. Clients should never call up when they've got an invoice or a bill or a statement from you and be confused and be surprised. That does not establish a relationship with trust. We need to communicate professionally, And we need to develop, if you are in the business of accounts receivable, of being in control. Now, my staff are trained, and the dentists smile because I do what I say I do. JDSG International Inc. is a non-accounts receivable company. So when they ask if we can send something out COD, we sweetly say we are a non-accounts receivable company. They laugh on the phone and say, oh, I see that you walk your talk. That's the end of the conversation.